Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Natalia Leigh. I'm an indie author and freelance editor, and today we're going over my 2020 goals. So I set goals back in January for 2020, and oh man, none of us had any idea what was coming, did we? We're gonna go through this real quick, and I'm gonna tell you whether I completed the goal or whether I totally failed to complete that goal. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 goals. Let's see how many I actually achieved in 2020. So my first goal was to finish Whiskey City, and in the video I essentially said I wanted it, I wanted the beta readers to have gone through it, I wanted to have it edited, I was going to edit it. I wanted it totally ready for publication so that I could publish at any time. Totally failed on that one, and actually it's gonna be my goal for next year as well. So totally failed on that, and then I wanted to write and finish book 3 in the Pistol Daisy series. Also, totally failed on this one. It's almost as if 2020 didn't even exist for Whiskey City is kind of how it feels. I did re-outline it. I am on the 3rd draft, but it kind of feels like this year didn't even exist for Whiskey City, because these exact goals are on my goals list for 2021. And you can see that video. I will link it down below if you have not already seen it. So yeah, totally failed on that. So the first 2 goals did not achieve. The next 2 goals I also did not achieve. This was to re-edit and rebrand Highborn and Way of Spears. I kind of achieved half of one of these. I do have a new cover for Highborn. Here it is. Greg made it, and I think it's gorgeous. I absolutely love it. But I did not re-edit it, and I did not re-edit Way of Spears, nor did I get a new cover for it. So those are both a fail. This year kind of feels like writing didn't even happen. So less social media, more life. I checked this one off because I've been on social media way less. I mentioned in that video, again, this will be linked down below if you haven't seen it or if you want to watch it, maybe alongside this one. I'm wearing the same sweater. I did that on purpose. I was really having trouble in 2019 with Instagram and sitting on Instagram for hours a day, and I have completely X'd that out of my life. I don't do that at all anymore. I usually only go on Instagram to post a photo. So most days, like I usually only post, we try to post on Enchanted Ink 3 times a week. That's at Enchanted Ink Publishing if you want to follow us. And then I'm at Natalia A. Leigh if you want to follow me on Instagram. So I'm usually on the Enchanted Ink Instagram 3 times a week. We try to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But for my personal Instagram, I don't post on there very often. It'd be nice to post more often, but I don't go on there very often. So I definitely have achieved less social media. I'm barely on Instagram anymore. But then I said more life. 2020 was a weird year for life, so I don't know if I would say that I did more life in 2020, but I definitely did less social media, so we'll say I achieved that. Finished the van build. That did not happen this year. Part of that, a big part of that, was that Greg really hurt his ears in the garage. Who knows, he may have even hurt his ears the day I filmed that video back in January, because that's when he really damaged his ears. He was wearing earbuds, but he was not wearing extra protection over the top of them, and he thought that it would be enough for him, and he was grinding some metal brackets in the garage and severely damaged his ears, and he has really bad tinnitus now. And because of that, he can't be around really loud sounds, no concerts, loud movie theaters, not that we even have the option to go do that right now. So that really severely limited what we could do on the van and what he could do on the van in 2020. And then the other thing that impacted our ability to finish the van was that we unexpectedly moved out of the house we were living in. And the house we were living in last year had a big garage, a lot of outdoor space, all the tools we needed. So we were able to build the van while we lived there. Things kind of fell apart for personal reasons. We could not live there anymore. And now we live in an apartment. We don't have a garage. We don't have the tools that we need. So we were not able to work on it ourselves. So this goal also got moved to my 2021 goals, and it's definitely going to happen in 2021 because we have it scheduled with a van building company. They're going to finish the things that we didn't finish, such as the kitchenette, battery bank, Actually, our battery comes in tomorrow. That's exciting. Kitchenette, battery bank, water system, cabinets, storage. Yeah, that's mostly what they're finishing, because we did the ceiling, the walls, the floor, the bed. We did all of that. The insulation, the wiring. So Greg did all the wiring. He ran all the wires, but their like electrical guy is actually going to attach everything. So it'll definitely be done in 2021. So failed that in 2020, but we moved it to the new year. Get a new tattoo. I did succeed in this one. This one is super faded. I mentioned why in the previous video. My artist told me that ear and face tattoos have a tendency to fade a little bit more, so I need to go get it touched up. I haven't yet. So I do have a tattoo on my ear and on my face, and I also got a tattoo on my arm. So I got a couple new tattoos in 2020. So I achieved that one. Develop a regular yoga practice. Did not achieve this one. I started going to yoga at my gym, but then the gym closed down, so I couldn't do that anymore. And I find it really difficult to have a home yoga practice because I work from home and I have so much work that sometimes I feel like, oh my gosh, I can't do yoga. I have all this work to do. And I know that that's not a healthy way to look at it. Last week I was doing a lot of yoga, but that doesn't really count. You can't do like 1 week of yoga and say, yeah, I have a yoga practice. So that didn't happen. Meditate consistently. That didn't happen either. I was meditating early 2020 at the other house. Actually, before we moved here, I was meditating relatively consistently. But since we moved in here, I don't think I've meditated hardly at all. Maybe not even at all. Like, we've been in here since the end of June. Actually, a couple days from now is 6 months we've been in this apartment, and it has just flown by. I have not meditated at all, so I failed that one as well. Make YouTube and social media a healthy place again. I achieved this one. So at the end of 2019, there is a video on this. I posted a video about YouTube and kind of the toxic mentality and the negativity that I was feeling surrounding it. I will link that video down below. I was in a pretty toxic place in like the end of 2019 in terms of YouTube and social media comparisons, drama being talked about, stuff like that. And I totally just shut that out. I feel really good about YouTube now. Anything that made me feel bad about myself, anything that brought negativity into my life, I got rid of it. I unsubscribed, I unfollowed, I just took it and I said, nope, I don't need you, and I pushed it away. And thank goodness I did that, because I can get on YouTube now and scroll through my subscriptions and watch the people, you know, that I really enjoy, people that I like, people that I feel like I can connect with. And I never have somebody pop up on my subscription that I'm like, I don't like this person. This person makes me feel negative. This person makes me feel however. So I got rid of all that, and I approach it from such a positive place now that I really enjoy it. I will admit, the past 6 months living here, I have been like barely around on Authortube. Even with my friends, I feel like I'm always having to ask, like, what are you working on? Because I'm not watching YouTube right now. And again, I think that's just part of not having a whole lot of time. I used to have a lot more time, and I would watch YouTube a lot more, and, you know, social media a lot more and stuff like that. And I don't necessarily have the time for that right now. So I haven't been watching as much YouTube, although I do hope to start again in 2021 because I miss YouTube and I miss knowing what, you know, my Authortube buddies are up to. Next is to continue editing for clients. Oh man, I had no idea what was coming. I made that video in January of 2020. I had no idea that Enchanted Ink was going to do so well this year. Back at that point, I was editing for a couple clients. Like, I would have a couple clients a month that I was working with, and it just like exploded in the best way possible. I had no idea this was going to be my full-time job. I could never have dreamed that. Like, I had an income goal, kind of like a monthly income goal for myself, and it took years to hit that income goal. Like, I had that income goal 2018, 2019, and then 2020, I finally hit it, and I'm so grateful for that. Anybody who has worked with me through Enchanted Ink Publishing, thank you. You have made my dreams come true. I really do appreciate it. I know I get on here and I bitch all the time about, oh, I work so much, and I know because I just share things with you, but I love the work I do. So even though I whine and cry all the time about, oh, I work all the time, it's really good work, and it's work that makes me really happy. So I did succeed in this, but I only succeeded because you guys put your trust in me, you put your words in my hands, and I do the best I can with every single client to make the work as powerful and as beautiful as I possibly can, and I really appreciate that you guys put your trust in me. If you are somebody who is interested in working with me specifically, or even just with Enchanted Ink in the new year, you can come visit us at enchantedinkpublishing.com. There are 3 editors currently on our team, and we're all booking kind of throughout the year. I'm starting to book into summer right now, and of course sometimes things change, sometimes people cancel, so random spots could pop up earlier than this, but I am booking into summer right now, like midsummer. So if you want to work with me, please make sure you're reaching out so that I can get you on the calendar now, instead of you reaching out and me saying, I'm so sorry, you know, I don't have availability until next year or something like that. So yeah, I did achieve that. I have been editing and working with clients full time, and it's absolutely amazing. Let's see, read more. So I didn't check this off because it's kind of finicky. Like, I'm reading more now than I ever have because it's my job to read and work with books, which is amazing. Like, I can't even count the number of client books that I have read this year. But in terms of like reading for enjoyment, I have gotten a little better in the past few months. So after Greg and I took the TV and the PlayStation out of the bedroom and moved it into the living room, and I have a video on my channel about that. It's a pretty sad video though, because, you know, Tifa died this year and we needed to move the apartment around because it just felt so sad, like seeing all the places where he used to nap during the day, that we had to move things so that it felt like, okay, I'm not, you know, staring at his empty places all day. So we took the TV and the PlayStation, we moved it out into the living room, we created a living room space, and since we've done that, I have been reading more, but I've mostly been reading nonfiction. I find myself really drawn to nonfiction, and I wonder if that's potentially because I work with fiction primarily. I have edited nonfiction. My other editors work with nonfiction as well, but I primarily work with fiction, you know, on a day-to-day basis for my clients. So I'm like full of stories all the time, and it's really nice in the evenings to pull out my Kindle and like read a nonfiction book. What have I read recently? I read a book about how to break up with your phone. That was a really good one, and I'll link some of these down below if you're interested. I read a book about earthing. Really interesting, very eye-opening to learn about earthing and how we have lost our connection with the earth and like the electrical currents and how those work within our bodies. I'm reading a book about goddesses right now and like the divine feminine. That's what I was trying to say. You know, goddesses, the divine feminine. I'm really enjoying that. So I have definitely been reading more nonfiction, but I haven't read a lot of fiction outside of the books that I edit for my clients. So I didn't check that one off because it was just kind of a gray area. And then the last goal was to get ergonomic office furniture, and I 100% did that. I'm sitting in an office chair now, and at this time last year, I did not even have an office chair. I was sitting on like a crappy stool that would sink throughout the course of the day. But I do have really nice office furniture now. I don't film in front of my desk as much as I used to. So I have a sit-stand desk that I absolutely love. It's humongous. So I can like, you know, put things over here to write on. And then I have ergonomic keyboard, ergonomic mouse. I'm like looking over there at everything I have. I have a wrist rest. I have an arm rest. That's like right here. My laptop is propped up a little bit on this little thing in order to help it like vent itself and to get it up a little bit higher. And then my actual second monitor here is finally on an arm that can move around, and that is at my eye level. So when I'm editing during the day, the manuscript is always pulled up here. And then down here, I have the Chicago Manual of Style, the style sheet I'm working on, the reader report. Any additional research material I need is always down here on the computer. And then up here is always the manuscript, because that's where I'm mostly focused during the day. So I definitely achieved this one. Got all my ergonomic office furniture. Took a while. I don't think I got it everything until July or August, but I checked it off because it still happened in 2020. Hi, Mew. All right, so that was everything. Those were all of my goals for 2020. So out of the 13 goals, I achieved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I achieved 5 out of 13 goals. So definitely didn't achieve as much as I hoped to achieve this year. But this year was insane. I had no idea 2020 was going to be this way. In my head, going into 2020, I was like, this is going to be such an awesome year. Like, I'm really just going to take charge this year, take charge of my life and my health. And a lot of that power was kind of taken away from us. Like, we lost the ability to do a lot of things this year. And we've just had to do our best and try to be flexible and learn how to work within these new systems, I guess. And then of course, the business, Enchanted Ink Publishing, went crazy this year. I never imagined that I would be editing full-time, let alone have 2 additional editors on my team and a formatter who is working full-time right now also. Like, it is mind-blowing and absolutely amazing. So I had no idea that was coming, and that has been the best thing. The best thing about 2020 has been Enchanted Ink Publishing. Even though it's like one of the things that I whine about all the time, like, oh, I work so much. It realistically is the best thing that has happened this year. And then, of course, some really terrible things happened this year, too. So I'm not sure I've ever experienced a year. I'm not sure any of us have ever experienced a year as strange as 2020. And let's just hope and cross our fingers that in 2021 we find a little bit of normality again. Stability, and we can just start back on like a healthy path, I guess, in 2021 is my hope. So if you missed my goals for 2021, those will be listed down below. I will also list the video that was my 2020 goals. If you want to see me in the same shirt talking about the same things, that'll be down there. Any other videos I mentioned will be down there. Those books that I am reading will be down there. I'll link them to Amazon. And I think that is all I have for you. So this year was a weird one, and let's just hope that next year we find Zen. We find Zen again. Probably no more new videos from me this year, so I guess I will see you not only in my next video, but in the new year. All right, bye. I'll see you in 2021. See ya.